They said there's no doubt you'll surely lose. Go ahead and sing your tune. We didn't listen, stayed right on the truth. And now we're on the right side of the news.
Never know what kind of chocolate you're going to get. You never know what kind of idiots you're going to get on Poke the Hornet's Nest 2, right side of the news. My name's Nick, and I've got my co-host here, Doug Jenke, with me today.
Are we on?
We're on.
Oh, yes, I'm here with you, Nick. I thought we were just doing testing with the headphones, so now I know that we were actually on.
Yes. Doug didn't like the State of the Union. I thought it was wonderful.
Yes. Well, you know, the problem is we are adults, and the one thing that separates conservatives from liberals is, and it's a fatal flaw. Liberals will stay with stupid people, stupid ideas. They will circle the wagons, and they will just stay on stupidity row. Now
you're talking about the failed recall people.
Now, hold on. But as conservatives, as a rule, we want the truth. We want, even if it makes our side look bad, we don't want somebody who's bad on our side. And truth is something that we search for because, you know, even if it's our guy, if it's a red or so-called conservative, if they're doing something wrong, Epstein, we want it dealt with. So I listened to some of Trump's, bloviating about how great he was and how great he is and how great and how great and how great. And he lied about most everything that he brought up.
What do you lie about?
Well, first off, the border is the only thing that's worth a damn. He's secured that. The economy is on a knife's edge, about to go in the toilet.
But did he do that?
No, that was a situation where the Biden administration made it so bad, he simply got the government a little bit out of the way, got some deregulation. But all of this manufacturing that's supposed to be coming back, it's not going to be here for a decade probably. By the time
I don't agree with you. I think we're going to find out it's going to happen a lot quicker because they're building the factories right now as we speak.
No, well, they're submitting plans. They're not building. In California, they're leaving California as fast as they can.
Well,
but we were promised.
California is the example of what you're trying to say. 24 houses have started down in Palisades out of what, 10,000 that burnt down?
Well, not 10,000. What the heck was it? It was a large number, but I think only 5 have been completed, and like 2 were like small homes or something like that. But
one was a trailer with a roof over it.
Yeah. And the funny thing is the rich people could have went and got RVs and parked in front of their house and started cooking meth.
That's against the code now.
Well,
unless you give some of the meth to the code guys.
That's right. But, we were told we were going to get Epstein. Turns out we're not. We were told we were going to get JFK. We are not. We were told we were going to get an accounting at the vault at Fort Knox. That hasn't happened. The guy speaks in these big grand things and he delivers nothing. And I voted for him.
Sounds like a couple of our supervisors.
Well, there you go. And so I'm listening to him, and, we're great, and we're this and that. And I'm like, this guy, and people go, well, Joe Biden's inflation. That's an absolute load of BS. Trump added $8.7 trillion to our debt in 4 years. That's more than almost all the presidents before him for 240 years.
I saw $7 a gallon gas out at Bella Vista with Biden.
I did too. I actually saw almost 9 over on the coast. I had to make a trip to the coast, and it was like 9 over there right on the coast at some one of those liberal.
I love the way he picked on Elian Omar.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And Jay Powell next to him.
Yeah. So, he's not afraid to call out, BS when it's there. But when you're listening to,
his job is to make him look good.
Well, he's doing a hell of a job.
Isn't he, though?
And I wish he'd be honest. Treat us like adults, Sean, I think Sean is his name, Sean Ryan.
The only politician I know of that treats us like adults is Kevin Cry.
Yeah. Just tell us what's going on.
Yes.
Just be honest with us. So I listened to the State of the Union. Not that anybody wants to hear my opinion, but just stop lying. The economy's not great. Jobs are not. There's not that many jobs. The workforce participation rate. Is the lowest it's been recorded, which means of the eligible people that can work, the lowest number are working. And he's, oh, and the economy's great and employment, we've got this.
Yeah, but
there's always a catch, Nick. Yes, we have more people working, but we also have more people. So it's ergo a natural procession. If you have 10 million people and 5 work, and then all of a sudden we have 12 million people and 5.5 work, you haven't increased the employment. There's just another 2 million people here.
Well, he's given the boot to some of them. That's helped our unemployment.
Yeah.
One thing I've noticed is when he says, and anybody else says, we've got a lot more employment going, they're talking about tech jobs, and it really doesn't affect us here.
Well, and
they're not talking about the white-collar jobs where you go work hard, whatever you do, logging, mill work, fishing, whatever. Those jobs aren't around anymore. A lot of them aren't coming back. The thing about logging, when I worked in logging, and the last year was 1988, you had maybe 6-8 people on a side, and now you've got maybe 2 or 3 running a machine doing all that work. It's never going to come back the way it was, and there's a lot of jobs like that.
Well, the thing is, tech's not even doing that great. They are shedding tens of thousands of jobs in tech.
But the jobs he does produce are private jobs, not government jobs.
That part I will give credit to. During the Biden administration, most of the jobs were government, as they know, and they kept revising numbers down. And even last year, under his first year, they go, oh, we didn't really create that many jobs, but the jobs we created were in nursing. What was it? In medical, and what was the other one?
That's because all us boomers are dying. We need more doctors.
Well, our medical system's 1,000,000% corrupt. I mean, we're on Big Pharma's dime, and they're just keeping us along. But that part, I'll give you credit. But then remember, this is one thing that again, he gets to do a nice dog and pony show, but people need to remember, you don't get to do what you did and then not say you did it, because he's the one that locked us down. He's the one that laid everybody off. He's the one that brought us the death jab that he was still proud of, that he got Operation Warp Speed through. We can't forget that, okay? He also got us.
I forgot it.
Yeah, I know you did. You forgot who I am. He also brought us.
That was last week.
He also brought us the first set of stimmy checks. So when we blame Joe, we've got to, it's like Trump says, oh, I inherited a terrible situation from Joe Biden.
And poor
Joe got to take a terrible situation from Trump as well. Don't
the first time Trump inherited a terrible situation from Barack Obama.
Oh, from Barry. Yes, from Barry and Mike. Yes, he did. So I listened to the State of the Union, and I would love our country to get back to a myth, because it's not even a truth anymore. It hasn't been a truth for probably since World War II.
What's the biggest problem with our country? What has brought our country down to its knees? Who is responsible?
We are. Us.
The main culprit
is conservatives.
Corruption.
No, hold on. Conservatives.
Corruption.
We believe in the Constitution. We believe in small government, low taxes, leave our family alone, leave our kids alone. We have allowed the liberals to destroy our country. We have allowed it, okay? The corruption is almost universally liberal. Whenever there's a big scandal, it's almost always a liberal person. 2, they've destroyed our schools. They've destroyed our high schools. They've destroyed our universities. They've destroyed our public works. They have destroyed our media, our entertainment. Our sports are damn near woke as woke gets. The liberals have destroyed that. End of story. I will stand in front of anybody and say that's the truth. However, we allowed it. We did. When we saw crazy Uncle Lenny saying something bizarre, we thought it was so bizarre, there's no way in the world that could ever happen. There's no way.
And then along came Karen.
Then Karen came.
Let's have a protest.
Then Karen came out, and I mean, if I was Trump, I would have called the Insurrection Act, and I would have gone and arrested every protester in Minneapolis and had them with federal obstruction charges, where they had to hire lawyers for probably $10,000.
That'll get the economy going.
Well, I would have done that because that's what they were doing. This wasn't about, your First Amendment.
I agree with you. His first administration.
He should have just went in there and said, we are going to arrest every protester. This is not about.
That's Nazism. He's got brown shirts out there. They're arresting people. They're dragging them out of their house.
I get that. My point being is they weren't protesting for a valid reason. They were protesting for people who were here illegally.
They were protesting because they could get away with it. Black Lives Matter.
Well, the funny thing is, I will say this. I as much as I beat on the president because again, I try to look at it through the lens of truth. And he's very good at lying, and all this Epstein stuff is going to become a bigger problem for him. It really is. But when he said, I want everybody to stand with me who realizes my number one job is to protect American people. And those sour-faced pieces of shit liberal Democrats stood there, long-faced, and would not stand. And you know what's funny? I will give this guy credit. It's kind of like Tanessa. You and I beat on Tanessa a little bit. Fetterman, Mr. Brain Damaged Fetterman,
Yeah.
that dude stood up a couple times with Republicans on things that had no political bias. So I'll give the guy credit. He actually was there standing. I saw him, and
Boy, he's been a surprise.
he has been a surprise. I wouldn't vote for the guy in a million years, but I gotta say he has been very surprisingly pleasant that way.
There was a few that stood up, but damn few.
Yeah.
But I liked I loved the way that he congratulated the hockey team on their gold medal.
Yeah.
The way he brought them
Well,
out.
he is a showman. He knows how to work the crowd. Reports have it from people who are in his circle. He's very humorous, very comedic kind of a guy.
He calls me for tips.
Yeah, I know he does, because you're a laugh a second.
That's not funny.
That
You're not
was funny.
supposed to laugh at your own jokes.
Well, I know. So no, that was really good. How he did the hockey team. How he did he just put it in their face and said, "Stand for America first, America's safety." And the Democrats could not take it upon themselves to say, you know what, we should. And if there's a Republican running right now, because it's all uniparty, but if there's a Republican running, they need to play that over and over and over if they're competing against one of those traitorous Democrats, and say, I think that American lives matter, not illegal people. This is my competition. Here he is, or here she is, or here they are, or here it is, who wouldn't even stand when asked if they supported protecting American people. So there wasn't all bad, but I just stopped lying. And I think this Epstein thing, Nick, it's getting tentacles, and it's looking worse by the day. And I think
especially if you're Bill Gates.
Well, here's the best part: is if Trump listens. Trump, listen. This is Nick and Doug. Listen to me. I'm gonna save your presidency from stupidity. The Democrats wore little stickers about releasing the files. I don't know if you saw that.
I saw that, and they redacted what the files were. I think it was a dirty word.
Well, I think it started with E and ended with N.
I think it started with F and ended with N.
Yeah, well, that's very possible. My point being is it is now, from the names that have come out, overwhelmingly liberal Democrat supporters, billionaires, actors.
There's been some important people that have resigned.
Well, in Europe, America hasn't done crap. Europe and around the world, there has been actually some significant fallout. America, zero. Well, the thing is, these Democrats.
That's the way we operate.
Well, the Democrats are sitting there talking about release the blank files. The problem is, Trump should give them what they want, because if he got those things redacted, the fallout. Well, I gotta say, liberals are not smart enough to understand their people are the ones that did all this child trafficking, pedophilia, murder. There's plenty of indication that kids were sacrificed. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that has come out that is very unstable, that are
dark,
that our country. And we're allowing it. Trump is allowing it. Don't mince words. Bondi is allowing it. Patel is allowing it.
Some
Bongino.
of those people ought to be taken out in a back alley the same way I'd treat pedophiles and capped in the back of the head with a 22.
Les Waxman. The dude is as dirty as dirty gets. He is on he's in there so much. He actually gave Epstein control of his empire, but nobody has paid any price. So the Democrats are sitting there saying they need to release the files. If Trump was smart, if he had 2 cents of brain power, he would give them what they want, because it would cripple their midterm election, because all the names in it are, you just go along, bump D, 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 D. There's going to be, and the funny thing is Trump, back when he was hanging with Mr. Epstein, was a registered liberal Democrat. So even when they mention him today, he did these while he was a Democrat. And that's the best thing. He could even go out and make some kind of a statement that would really take the wind out of their sails and go, hey, I'm here. It's time for me to come clean. Yes, I associated with with Jeffrey Epstein for a number of years. I did so when I was a registered liberal Democrat. As I saw truth and how America runs, I stopped hanging with him in 2000, I think it's 6 or something. And I stopped becoming a Democrat at that point. If he did that, all of this, it's Trump's in it.
Everybody knows that.
No, I know, but if he went back and said that he is hanging with Epstein while he was a Democrat.
I'm not sure he was hanging with Epstein,
there's
as much as being at the same place with Epstein.
Either way.
He was at the party. So what? He didn't ride my car over there. We didn't double date with 12-year-olds.
But there's evidence that Epstein and him worked on getting deals in Middle East and everything else that I don't know if I'm going to say questionable, but it's clear that they had more than just we were at the same spot, same time. There's clear that. But there's
you're
no
talking financial deals, putting resorts together. How's that tie into illicit behavior with young women?
How does doing?
I'll trade you this one for this one. No, I want 2 blondes and a red.
And the thing is it's come out that there's nothing that indicates Trump was involved in that aspect of Epstein world. But he was involved with Epstein world, and the reality is the guy had already, been charged or was well known in the circle for doing what he did, and those guys hung with him. So
you know what? I've got a lot of friends. I went to school here, and they got mixed up with methamphetamine. I didn't.
Yep.
But am I associated with him?
Yes.
Should I be guilty of something because they were my friends?
If you didn't do anything, no.
Well, they haven't proved Trump's done anything.
Well, his name shows up a lot in those files. Let's qualify it that way.
My name would show up because I wouldn't do it.
that would
Look
be.
at him. Why aren't you snorting some crank?
Well, that would be.
I don't want any.
That would be your exoneration. And Trump is not really. He promised us. We voted because he promised us JFK, aliens, Vault in Fort Knox, and Epstein files. He's delivered 0 on any of them.
He's still got 3 years. Yeah. I agree with you. He could have delivered a lot more. I agree with you. I love the way Kash Patel went over and partied with the hockey team.
Yeah.
He's chugging beer and yelling.
Well, the problem is with that is initial reports say to send the FBI director to Rome or to Italy cost us like $300,000 in security
and
detail.
we sent a plane down to Florida to bring the hockey team back up here. That cost us a bunch of money too.
Yeah.
We could have saved that.
Well, it's
the
great
Democrats
that Patel
could have found something better to do with that money.
Well, the great thing is, Patel is proud of the country and he's celebrating. I get that, but at the same time, he doesn't go anywhere without costing us a huge amount of money.
Does any of them?
Good point. So you had some clips today, Nick. What did we want to go into the Knicks?
Well, the first thing
that was my take on the State of the Union. Is I just want honesty. Just give me honesty.
And I'm going to give you my take. I loved it.
Good.
So we've got some interesting things coming up this next Tuesday. I would encourage you to go to the City of Reading City Council meeting. There's going to be a lot of talk about raising the electrical rates, 18% over 4 years. And boy, do they deserve it?
Well, I mean, their director, what is it? His base salary or his compensation package is almost $500,000 a year.
Oh, I think it's a bit more than that.
Like $566,000 is his management fee. Then the people below him are all making, I think, above $300,000.
Well, you know what's worse than that? Is the city of Reading can borrow $3.5 million from REU to put in carpet out at the soccer field and decide not to pay it back. They can give rebates for electrical cars to everybody, to people that can afford it, and the complaints I hear is there's people that $20 or $30 a month means a lot of money to them as far as groceries and that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Yet we keep subsidizing these people that really don't need to be subsidized. I see a lot of homeless running around on electric bicycles. I wonder if we gave them that. No, really. Well, I mean, they throw away a lot of money, in my opinion.
I'm sure they borrowed it. The thing is
they took it out of their doggy fund. They get a certain amount to feed their pets every month.
No, I've been saying this for years, Nick. You and I have had this. That's how I came on your darn show. To start out was about green energy. It's a scam. It's 100% a scam. It's 1,000,000% scam. And so REU, and then the argument for REU is, well, the state mandates. Well, tell the state to blank off.
Well, no, the state doesn't mandate.
The state mandates they have to do.
By law, they're not supposed to make a profit. They should be supplying electricity
at a cost. But well, the thing is, they've got to have cost and they've got to have a profit, air quotes, because they're going to have to do infrastructure improvement, line for repairs.
Well, that's not a profit. That's built right into your bill.
Well, I'm
That's
just saying.
cost.
So I mean, you'd have to have that. You'd have to have the cost plus slush, and the slush is for future cost. So you have to do that. But I've been saying for years, no rebates to anybody buying anything electrical. People can afford a Tesla, electric bike, or solar. They should not get the benefit of everybody else paying for them to have that.
That's right.
And then they're giving out, they give out scholarships everywhere. They're giving loans that don't get paid back. Cut the rate. Don't raise the rate. People need a rate cut right now. Cut the damn rate.
And get rid of the pilot. What's that? Payment in lieu of taxes?
Yeah, whatever that is. I don't know.
Well, in my opinion, the city treats it as a private entity and you need to pay taxes. So the pilot is what we're getting. And that goes right in the general fund and they slush that around.
Yep. No, I mean, REU has done a very commendable job, but do we really need to pay a guy in charge of the REU $500,000 a year? Really, in Redding, California, 40 grand a month is what this person's making. He's making 10 grand a week. But we had some clips. Let's get to your clips before the end of the show, Nick.
Okay, well, we had a very interesting supervisors meeting day before yesterday, Tuesday, and they brought back an item that Alan Long brought up. It's electioneering, and he is in favor of that Joanna chick that ran the last two elections. Well,
the corrupt ones.
22 and 24. She told the supervisors she ran those elections, but now she's claiming she didn't. And, the thing about her and Kathy Darling Allen, they lied to the supervisors about the $1.5 million Zuckerberg money. And that is proven they lied to them. And if you can't believe everything a person says, what can you believe? But they skipped over the comments, the meeting before last, and so they brought them back through public demand, and there was 22 speakers. And I picked out their most elegant speaker here. He's a guy named Jeff Carr. I saw him at a meeting or so before, and he's well-spoken. So we're going to listen to him and pick him apart, and then we're going to listen to Jim Burnett. Jim Burnett is a very intelligent speaker that puts things together, and he explains our side very well, that meaning the side that is in favor of Clint Curtis being able to keep running transparent elections that we can all trust and be confident that our elections are honest. So let's go with this first clip, please.
Jeff Carr, District 5. Chair Kellstrom, I identify as a fourth-generation Shasta County farmer, and we've seen this all before. Outsiders come in to show us how it's done. They bring their big city ideas, their newfangled way, to show all of us country folk how it's done. And so here we are again, a Florida carpetbagger who dazzled this board with his snake oil. He sold you all with his disarming smile, with conciliatory words, and you bought it. As you have read or heard at his illegal Republican gubernatorial office tour, I challenged Mr. Curtis's assertion of ballot stuffing, which he then accelerated to a criminal accusation without evidence of illegal activity by his predecessor and his current political opponent. Where's the evidence? Why is he hiding it? Chair Kellstrom, do you know how easy it is to report a crime in this county? Call the sheriff non-emergency number. The dispatcher will inquire, and she will dispatch the appropriate agent to take the questions. The answer, report it to the dispatcher. Mr. Curtis might need to know that number, 530-245-6000. It's that easy. Has he done it? No. Has he called the DA? No. Has he informed the Secretary of State? No. Why? Because it's a crime to lodge a false police report without evidence, because Mr. Curtis is saying things that are not true. So I've been in barnyards long enough to know what I'm seeing in the ROV's office. It smells, and now it's stuck to your boots. You appointed a man who's a defamer, a liar, a carpetbagger. Clean your boots. Censure Clint Curtis.
Censor Clint Curtis. Well, the first thing, he's a fourth-generation Shasta County farmer.
I have a hard time believing that he would be a liberal if he's been here for 4 generations.
Well, I think Mommy and Daddy sent him to college and he came back a liberal.
I'm just saying.
That would be my assumption. And then he says the liberals come in here and want to change everything.
Well, that's
you
exactly.
look at the other side, they're all liberals and they want to keep it the way it is and be dishonest.
Yeah, and Joanna was part of the whole thing, and even Kathy Dallin, and she did do criminal. So Mr. Carr, she did do criminal. She printed 2 sets of ballots. She's admitted to doing that. That's a criminal offense. There's your evidence. She's admitted to that.
I've got 8 or 10 eyewitnesses, and one of them's going to be this next clip, that were there observing the elections. Eyewitnesses to things that went on there.
Yep.
And that's firsthand. That's not hearsay.
Yep.
They don't want to recognize them.
Well, and then, our DA is pretty much worthless. And then calling the California State AG, really? You're going to call in a crazy whack job, uber Democrat liberal to come investigate voter fraud.
Clint Curtis has turned in voter fraud complaints to probably the state. I know the feds. He defended himself quite well.
Yeah.
And he has complained about probably criminal actions that he wants investigated.
Yep. And nothing has happened.
Well, maybe we ought to get the Police Chief Anderson to come up and investigate him.
Well, let's do that. Well, we're running out of time, so let's get your second clip, sir.
Jim Burnett, you're on, buddy. There's Corky sitting there.
Mr. Burnett.
Yes, good morning. Supervisor Long, I find it most interesting that you pushed so hard for this agenda item. You seem to have already concluded that Mr. Curtis was electioneering recently when he invited the public for a tour of his elections office in order to show the procedures he implemented to process the ballots. Naturally, when anyone implements changes to a complex system, part of the presentation will involve descriptions of how the former system operated, including the deficiencies that needed to be remedied. It's a basic technique to describe what he inherited and compare it with what he did. Providing this context helps everyone understand why Mr. Curtis overhauled the system to make it easier to observe and understand the process so that people might understand why he did what he did. Surely there were several candidates for governor present, but there were also a number of people who were critical of Mr. Curtis, many of whom are here today, who were at liberty to make comments and ask pointed questions at this event. Doesn't sound like a campaign event to me. So there were supporters and detractors, but the focus of that day was to show the innovations that make meaningful observation possible and convenient for all. Additionally, Mr. Curtis has greatly strengthened chain of custody procedures and expanded the documentation and storage so that anyone can review the ballots themselves. Supervisor Long, throughout your time on the board, you have been an ardent supporter of Joanna Francesca and an outspoken critic of Clint Curtis. You have not missed any opportunity to argue against Mr. Curtis when he has come to the board to request adequate funding. In my opinion, R4 is just a thinly veiled, not so subtle way to oppose Mr. Curtis and to support the candidacy of Joanna Francesca. This is known as electioneering.
Next up, Bev, followed by Shasta County.
See, I've invited Jim to come in here and sit and participate if he wanted to, or just see how we do these. He's a great guy, and he's very well spoken. He does his comments. He sits there and watches and writes them down right there.
Oh, good.
Very intelligent guy. Bruce Russell, he doesn't come in anymore, but he's really sharp when it comes to that.
Well, he points out the very crux of the problem is there was supporters, there was detractors, there was candidates for governor, and Clint was showing he was talking about the old system and showing what the new system is, and how the first guy, Jeff Carr, says that that's electioneering. Apparently, he was there the day it happened.
Well,
He was.
Yeah,
Jeff
go ahead and
Carr.
explain, Leslie.
Jeff Carr was there. In fact, if you watch the live video that I did on Mountaintop Media, he was the one who kept poking and kept bringing in all the left-wing talking points and kept interrupting. And he kept poking until he got Clint to say something where he can go, gotcha.
Oh, yeah.
And I multiple times shut him down and said, we are here for a demonstration. If you want to host your own, go do your own thing. But this is his demonstration, and you are embarrassing because we have people from out of the area who are here to learn what we're doing.
Yep. Well,
I learned one thing right then.
that is.
Don't piss Leslie off.
Well, no. Yeah, we were talking about the difference between men, and women can bring a lot of pain to men, so we don't want to piss them off at all.
Hey, that's about it. You want to finish up with anything?
No, we're at a point where our country is dead and dying, and it's stage 4 cancer from liberal shit. And I don't know how we're going to fix it because they've got the schools, the high schools, the universities, the media, the entertainment, the unions. They've got, and I'm not sure, short of a systemic collapse, we're going to save this country. So we've got to figure some way, because one election here or there is like putting a speck of sand on a beach. They are the beach, and it's not that I'm not capitulating anything, but they have destroyed everything that means what it is to be America, and I don't know how we get it back. So let's keep trying to inform people, Nick, and we'll do our part. How's that?
That sounds good.
All right.
I'm very disappointed the way our country's gone, and hopefully we can keep J.D. Vance or Marco Rubio in office for another 16 years. It'd be good, because the minute they get back in, they're going to cancel out everything good that Trump did.
Yes, they are. That's a true statement right there. As we come to a close, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Bye.
I want to take the time to thank the sponsors that help keep our lights on and our partnership with 22 Salute Coffee. They have absolutely amazing coffee. Their bourbon is absolutely the best bourbon I've ever had. It helps keep the lights on here. If you go to Mountaintop Media and purchase, you save 10%, and the rest of the money goes towards helping first responders and veteran suicide prevention. So you're supporting a good cause, you're getting a good product, and you're helping us keep the lights on here, which we have no outside funding, no government funding, no NGO funding, so it really helps us. Jefferson State Diesel, absolutely the best place to take your diesel in. If you have a vehicle with a diesel, they're absolutely the best. Both owners are on site. They support the community. They always are supporting patriots. And there's absolutely nowhere else I would go to take my truck to get worked on and trust them to do a good job and never scam somebody. And they help us keep the lights on here. They're our number one first sponsor that really stepped up to the plate. I also want to take the time to give a shout out to Taylor Motors. They are an amazing family. If I was going to go and buy a new vehicle, absolutely, I would go nowhere else other than Taylor Motors. And they also sell used vehicles. So, and if you buy that, it's new to you. And they are actually, they're a top tier sponsor. They really stepped up to the plate. They're always going to fundraisers to support the right people. They're huge supporters of the right people in the community. And they have a lot of integrity, and the family's great. Also, Taylor Collision Center. Hopefully I don't get any accidents, or somebody just actually swiped my wife's vehicle the other day in the parking lot, and they just drove off, and it was a little ding. So I'm not necessarily, I don't know if we're going to take that in, but hopefully nobody bangs my truck up or her vehicle to where we have to take it in there. But if I did, I would absolutely take it to Taylor Collision Center. They have a lot of integrity, very good, honest people. And there's nowhere else I would take my vehicle. Thank you for watching, and support the other people in the community that support us.